Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Michael Trimboli, and in this video I'm going to show you some of my favorite photographs from the month of September 2023. I have a bit of a cold right now, so if my voice sounds a little funny, that's the reason. So even though I didn't travel anywhere during September, I still feel like I made the most out of whatever opportunities I had to take my camera out to a couple baseball games during the month. I did a photo walk with my camera club, and I also went to a couple museums during the month. On Labor Day weekend, I rented a 35mm lens for my Canon RP camera. I've been wanting to try a slightly wider focal length. My go-to prime lens for the camera is a 50mm f1.8. Just a very basic workhorse lens, but I was interested in the 35mm, and there was a guy in the city who was making one available to rent, so I rented it for a week. Funny story, when I first went out with it that Saturday of Labor Day weekend, I actually accidentally turned on the crop factor on my camera. So it technically made the 35mm a 52mm or 55mm lens. So moral of the story is just be aware, especially if you have a touch screen on your camera, just be very careful that you don't accidentally trip a setting that you don't want to trip. But the lens turned out to work pretty well. I don't know if I'll go and purchase one full-time, or I've also had my eye on the 28mm f2.8 that Canon makes. It's a nice pancake lens, but we'll see if and when I get the funds to make that purchase. I went to a couple baseball games during the month. I went to a Mets game on September 3rd where they were playing the Seattle Mariners. And I also went to a Yankees game on September 24th where they played the Arizona Diamondbacks. Unfortunately, it's been a pretty lousy season for baseball in New York. Neither the Mets or the Yankees made the playoffs. But I still am a huge baseball fan, huge Yankees fan, to be honest. Sorry if that rubs people the wrong way, but it is what it is. The Mets game was very nice weather, and the Yankee game was not nice weather. It was terrible weather. The game was delayed by an hour, and it pretty much rained the whole time I was there. It was very windy as well, and I actually left the game after the 6th inning just because I didn't want to get wet anymore, and the game itself wasn't really too enthralling for me, so I basically just took the whole opportunity both times I went to the games to just get as many shots as I could of the action and what was going on in the stands. In September, I also did a photo walk with my camera club, and I think the highlight of that was one of the members took some steel wool and a whisk and actually made some light trails that a bunch of us were taking long exposures of, and I feel like I got some pretty good long exposures, which I'll show in this video. I also went to a couple museums during the month. I went to MoMA on September 2nd and the Whitney on September 17th. Those are two of my favorite museums in New York. And the Whitney might be my favorite museum of all to take photographs in. It's just such a lovely building, and they always put on great exhibitions. So yeah, I think I will stop talking right now, and I will show you the photos, some of my favorite photos of the month. I got a couple comments in the last video that I should put some locations of where these photos were shot, where each photo was shot, so I will do that as well. So yeah, without further ado, here are my favorite photos of September 2023.